Going to move straight to the business news. We're going to get an update on what is happening for you now, starting, in fact, in France, where the government is preparing its response to protests by farmers who are continuing to block roads this Thursday. And Keris Garland is here with me on set to tell us more about it. Keris.
That's right. So on Wednesday evening, farmers' unions released a list of 24 demands and says that the government must consider each and every one. That's as a meeting gets underway this Thursday morning between Prime Minister Gabriel Attal and agricultural and finance ministers, with their first response expected by the end of the week. The farmers' demands include emergency aid for the sectors most under pressure, viticulture and organic farming, plus in the more long term, the scaling back of environmental standards. Those demonstrating take issue with both EU subsidy rules like an incoming requirement to leave 4% of farmland fallow, plus what they see as France's overcomplicated implementation of EU policy. Attal met with some farmers' unions on Wednesday night, and afterwards the leader of one organisation said hope must be given back to the agricultural world, particularly as food retailers are under increasing pressure to bring down prices after a period of high inflation.
We think that the main issue that needs to be addressed as soon as possible is farmers' income. If we do not fix that issue, nothing we try to implement will work out. So this issue absolutely needs to be fixed.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk has warned of a sharp slowdown in sales in 2024 after the company's fourth quarter earnings fell short of analysts' expectations. Excluding a one-time tax benefit, the electric car maker reported $2.5 billion in net profit, down nearly 40% from the same time a year ago. Tesla warned this year's vehicle volume growth rate could be notably lower than last year as it turns its focus towards launching a more affordable next-generation vehicle at its Texas Gigafactory. Well, a look at the day's trading action, and European markets opened lower as investors look ahead to the central bank's monetary policy meeting this Thursday. The Frankfurt DAX down 0.25%, the FTSE in London trading flat, and the Paris CAC 40 also slightly in the red. Meanwhile, in Asia, Shanghai led gains, up about 3% after the People's Bank of China said it would cut reserve requirements for the country's lenders. The U.S. Aviation Authority says it will allow grounded Boeing 737 MAX planes back into the air after inspections are completed. That's despite barring the company from expanding production of the aircraft. The Federal Aviation Administration issued a stark warning to the American jet maker, saying it would not be back to business as usual following an unacceptable quality issue. 171 MAX 9 planes were grounded following a mid-air blowout earlier this month. The decision is set to have wide-ranging effects across the industry as Boeing seeks to keep up with demand and close a gap in the jet market with European plane maker Airbus. And public services in Argentina were brought to a halt by a 12-hour walkout Wednesday. Unions called for the general strike to voice their opposition to President Javier Milei's severe austerity measures. One of those is the annulment of the rent control law, meaning landlords can now terminate a contract at any time and for any reason. Our team in Buenos Aires sent us this report.
Laura's rental agreement will come to an end in less than a month. To renew it, she'll have to pay 4 times the current rent. Unable to afford such a hike, she is forced to leave this 3-bedroom, 90-square-meter apartment for a small 1-bedroom apartment. Her daughter will have a room, but Laura will sleep in the living room, and her son will have to go live with his father.
It's all very stressful. I don't sleep at night, I suffer from insomnia. It means reducing my whole life, leaving my son behind, my furniture, my space, reduce everything.
Without any regulations and with inflation running at 200%, businesses are also facing sky-high rates. Veronica runs a health food store, but had to leave her shop when the landlord hiked the rent 300%. He also included a new clause. permitted by the new presidential decree.
He wanted us to pay rent in foreign currency, but we earn our money in pesos. We don't have any dollars. And the dollar keeps on rising because of the enormous inflation.
The complete deregulation of the rental market has withdrawn all protection for tenants. Each week across the country, small groups of people mobilize against Javier Milei to voice their fears for what the future will bring.
There's a total desertion of the state in the rental relationship. The situation is now catastrophic. A lot of people have to go to live in shanty towns or in the streets.
A radical liberalization has begun. Many say it's fast and harsh. For those who are already struggling after years of economic turmoil, the next few months will be very difficult.
And that wraps up the business news for now, Stuart.
Karis, thank you very much. Karis Garland there, bringing us all the latest business news.